We're here again with another episode of the Lockdown Lowdown, and today I'm here with Megan Hunter, who is an administrator for the rare diseases as well as project manager of the Rare Bear Project. For you guys who are not familiar with rare diseases, it is an NPO that is committed to empowering those in South Africa with rare diseases. There are over 7,000 rare diseases that people suffer from, and this organization is giving people the voice, the strength, and the support to live a life that is worth living. So thank you very much, Megan, for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. The timing is right. I'm excited to hear about rare diseases. I'm a big fan of what you guys have done in the past and what you guys are currently doing. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what rare diseases is for everyone listening and watching?
So rare diseases started out as what was meant to just be a little support group. Kelly Duplessis is the one that started it, and she started it out of a personal need as her son was diagnosed with a rare condition, and she realized that there's no real support structure in South Africa. So it started out as a few mums meeting for coffee, and we've now got about 12,000 members in total, which includes healthcare practitioners, caregivers, family, friends, rare activists, volunteers, and of course our patients. And our main goal is to create awareness and advocacy for rare diseases. So we want to be the voice and encourage our patients to have a voice with their medical aid and with their healthcare practitioners.
What a beautiful story, and I love how that just organically grew into what it is today. And I know, obviously with the current time we're facing with the disease, the impetus for the Lockdown Lowdown, why we can have this conversation, I applaud you and the rest of the rare diseases team, continuing to do what you guys have done day in and day out, without unwavering. Your commitment to doing so it's just beautiful. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So, talking about lockdown and the reason for being, how have you found coronavirus impacting on your guys' MPO and MPOs as a whole in South Africa?
So we're really lucky that all of us working at Rare Diseases, there's 6 of us, all women, and we all have access to internet. So we can work remotely. We have daily meetings via Microsoft Teams.
Brilliant.
We're on WhatsApp groups, so we're always in contact with one another. But the coronavirus has affected all NPOs in South Africa in a really big way. There's no provisions for us as NPOs. We listened with bated breath to every presidential speech, and still there's no mention of us. We've got together with other healthcare NPOs, such as Smile Foundation, Reach for a Dream, SADAG, which is depression and anxiety, and we don't know if we have a future. We can't survive without funding, and a lot of our corporate funding doesn't allow for things like salary or rental.
Yeah.
And our fundraisers, which often do help us pay for all of that, can no longer happen because we're in lockdown. So it's a scary place to be in, because it's not just us as employees that will lose our jobs. It's also all of our patients and people that we're helping.
Completely. Is there anything that you guys are doing at the moment that is trying to create awareness around this problem? What are you guys doing to solve this?
So one of the things that we've done is we've realized a lot of our patients can't afford to pay their medical aid membership. And this is because either they're not working or they're trying to survive on a single income to pay all of their expenses. And so we've set up a Give and Gain fundraiser, and that's what that people can donate to. And we're going to get all of our patients to apply, those that need the assistance. And they're going to go through a vetting process with our accountant, and we're going to try and help them, because the average that rare disease patients pay for medical aid is 6,300 Rand a month per patient.
Sure.
Now, that's much higher than what most people pay.
Of course, yeah.
But their treatments cost up to 400,000 Rand a month. So 6,300 might sound like a lot for one person, but it's their life.
Yeah.
It's literally like to allow them to get their life-saving treatment, which isn't available in government hospitals.
That is a,
we have little events happening over the weekends as well. Like last week, we had a fund run that people could run around their garden and get people to sponsor per kilometer. One person, the distance around their garden was 350 meters, and they ran 21 kilometers. So
that's a half a marathon.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And then this weekend we're doing a fund ride, so people can either get onto their bicycles or onto their stationary bikes and just pedal for a purpose.
Pedal for a purpose. I love the copywriting. I love the ingenuity behind the names here. And I dig the initiative. I think that's so cool because you know that people are keeping fit during this time. You know people are actively working out within the confinement of their house or their townhouse or whatever the case is. So I love how you guys have tackled that and seen that as a great opportunity to raise money and awareness. We'll definitely put all the links and the information below for people to get involved. Pedal with a purpose. Unfortunately, I can't ride a bike, and that's a true story. So I'll be out on that one, but I'll be sure to run a few laps for you guys to raise some cash in my backyard. I'll do something productive this weekend. But that's really cool, and I think that ties back to your guys' social media. Obviously, in anticipation of this interview, I've been keeping up to date with what you guys are doing, and now you told me before the call that you're the one who's been creating the content for your guys' Instagram.
Yeah, I love doing social media, and I think especially during this lockdown, it's a way to be able to interact with people and to stay in contact with everyone else that you can't see and give a hug to. And we've done a whole lot of lockdown challenges, and they're simple things like show us your selfie in your mask.
Yeah. Because
a lot of our patients wear a mask anyway. Before Corona came around, they were out there wearing their mask. We've got other ones where it's like show us your exercises. Today's one is throwback to before COVID hit. Yeah. What was your little happy moment? And I think it's really good to sometimes be reminded of the good in between all of the stress and anxiety floating around. I could not agree with you more on that point. I get a little dose of positivity and happiness when I go into your guys' feed, because it's about, you know, looking beyond the now into the future and understanding that this is a negative, but if you be negative, then everything will stay negative. Whereas what Rare Diseases is aware of, and what you are aware of as someone that, you know, is highly involved, not just as an administrator, but someone with one, you understand that it goes beyond just, you have to be positive to get beyond this boundary. And if you don't, then we'll all be stuck here in a mental lockdown. So I have to say, I really enjoyed your guys' social media. It's definitely inspired me. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Is there anything that you've seen online beyond what you guys are doing that has also inspired you? Any other digital marketing trends that you've seen? We've always loved Good Things Guy. Okay. I think he's someone that we all look up to, and just reminding you of the good that's out there. And so going back to me being project manager of Rare Bear Project. Yes. Our ladies live in the local township, Kaya Sands, and no work during this time means no pay. Of course. So we put out a little call, and we got a huge amount of money donated by the public who want to be able to help. And it was people donating 50 Rand, 100 Rand, but they were giving and they wanted to help. And it blew me away when I went into our bank account and I saw all the money that had come in. I was doing a little happy dance. I was crying. Like it really renewed my faith in humanity. And I think as hard as this lockdown has been, it's also shown us just how kind people really are. Yeah.
The beauty of life, isn't it? It's when we're faced with this adversity, we can actually unite and pull together and find that sense of humanity that we may have lost up until now. You know, I've said it before on the Lockdown Lowdown. We almost feel disconnected through technology before this had happened, and now we're using it as this means in which we can actually share these positive stories, share and get the money and the awareness out there for the projects that need to be top of mind, that need to have the airtime that they deserve to help people in this time. Because not being able to work for all of us it's our livelihood, right? So I appreciate you guys finding that fun spin on turning it into an initiative for everyone to get behind. So that's really, really cool. So I take off my creative hat to you guys here.
Thanks so much.
I just want to ask you, we didn't necessarily mention it now, but you are someone that has suffered from myasthenia gravis, and it's a rare disease where you've learned a lot in life up to this point, and it's changed your perspective on life. But what have you learned now with the lockdown, being forced to be here? What is the biggest lesson you've learned?
I think it's really shown me it's given me the time to spend time on myself and introspection, and to see, like, stuck in a house with myself. I see what other people see, and it's given me an opportunity to grow and to see the person that I want to be. So whether I'm sick or not, what do I want the world to see me as? I don't want them to see me as, oh, Megan's the sick one. I want them to see me as Megan, the one that will show up for her friends no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really been important during this lockdown. And I've made the time to set up Zoom calls with the whole family so that we can all see one another. And we didn't do that before lockdown.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm phoning my friends more often, and I would speak to them maybe once every couple of months. And now it's at least once a week. I'm sending them voice notes, messages. And I think that's something that hopefully all of us can carry forward, is really spending time on our loved ones and with our loved ones.
Agreed. There's a beautiful moment happening here, and I love what you just said about having Zoom calls with the friends and the family that you didn't used to ever have. And now it's becoming that new normal for us, that we are just able to, put things aside and just jump onto a call and just say, hey, how was your day? Because before you don't talk to them because you could just go and talk to them or see them, that you don't actually ever see them or do it. So now this impetus, it's kind of a mind, excuse my French, a bit of a mind fuck, because we can't see each other. Now we're putting all this time and effort to do so. I think it is beautiful, and it might just be the new normal. I want to ask you a quick question. What do you think the new normal for NPOs and NGOs will be after the lockdown or after coronavirus passes?
That's a very scary question. So we, as Rare Diseases, met over Zoom yesterday and discussed everything that's happening, and we really don't know.
Yeah.
If we don't have any provision given to us or supporters donating to us, we don't know if we can continue. It's not like we can say when lockdown's over, we can go back and we can sell our products.
Yeah.
Because we don't sell products. Like, we're not going to get an income from selling items to the public. And people are going to be so much more aware of what they're spending their money on, because we don't know what's going to happen with our country.
Yeah.
So are they going to want to donate to a charity? Are they going to be able to donate to a charity? Like, how many people have lost their jobs now? And it's such a scary place to be in, because we really don't know our future.
The uncertainty of this is what's almost frightening, and I think that's what people are always scared of, something that they don't understand. we're talking of this whole new economy and the impact and need for localization, looking internally to create and sustain the economy. And he's obviously, our president Cyril Ramaphosa is surrounded by the brightest minds and smartest thinkers in the room. And I do hope there is a voice for the NPOs and NGOs at that table, because however we frame it, we need organizations like this that are so altruistic that they give beyond themselves to help those around us. And I think that's what South Africa is about. I mean, we're a nation of unity, a nation of strength, with a rainbow nation. And we need to think of each other beyond the aspect of profit and loss. So I think the element of people is coming in, and I'm surprised that no mention of NPOs or NGOs has been made yet. That seriously shocks me, because what we're discussing as a world is the people that are working for the greater good of everyone else, sacrificing themselves and their time to help people with this illness. Like, it literally is an illness that we're talking of, yet Rare Diseases, an organization that has been created to deal with diseases, is not in question here. So I find that a big oversight and mistake currently. So hopefully this interview and what you guys continue to do can get the exposure that you guys deserve to have NPOs in the conversation.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. And I mean, our patients are amongst the most vulnerable.
Of course.
So they've got to stay at home. They really can't go out and attempt a shop or whatever, because they probably won't make it. And it breaks my heart, because if they can't get their treatment, they probably won't make it. And it won't be Corona that's killed them.
Yeah.
It's lack of funds.
That's the scary truth, isn't it? The world, I mean, what's that saying? The world goes around by money, right? I guess in these circumstances, do we really realize how pivotal having money is to function, right? And going back to what you said earlier, 6,000 Rand for your life is absolutely nothing. But when you don't have a job, how do you make that money? So I'm very happy to get you on this, the Lockdown Lowdown, to get this, get these initiatives known by more people and a wider audience in South Africa, because I think it's pivotal. If we're sacrificing economy right now to save people's lives, then this type of organization needs to be at the forefront too. Because like you just said, they're the ones that are most prone to getting COVID.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I can't tell you how much this means, and the fact that you listen to me and that you support Rare Diseases and follow us, can't tell you, it makes my heart so full.
Well, you guys are cool. I dig what you guys just do. I think it's bright, it's loud, it's fun. It's knowing that, we had this conversation before we started, it's knowing that when you've been through something like a rare disease or through an operation or survive something, you need to have humor to get through it, and you can't just be always like sad about what's wrong with you, because if you're continuously sad, then like what's the point? So what I love is that it's that dosage of just like fun and happiness and knowing that there's something wrong, but not being hung up on it. Because if you just get hung up on it, then what's the point? Then it's just going to be, it's not going to be fun to engage with. And I appreciate your attitude towards the situation and wanting to get behind this.
Thank you. Yeah, I think laughing at yourself and having fun with life is so important. You've got to live beyond that diagnosis.
100%. You've got to live beyond the diagnosis. We've got to live beyond Corona. And that's the truth of the matter, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We can't allow the weight of it to pull us down, because there's so much more good and happiness and laughter out there.
Now, talking about happiness and laughter, what is it that, what is the one thing that makes you excited and happy in the morning? Is there a quote that you live by? Is there some form of motivation that gets you up, that gets you smiling? What is it that gets you to have that beautiful smile that you have?
So I don't know if you watched the movie Wonder or if you read the book.
Mm-mm.
there was, it's very sad, you need tissues. If you watch it, take tissues. And there's a quote from there that's really stuck with me. And the teacher says to his class, in a world where you can either choose to be right or to be kind, always choose kind. And I think that's something that I've really tried to take on in my life. It's not important to always have the last word in an argument or to always be right in what you're saying. Because people aren't going to remember you for that. They're going to remember you for your kindness, for you thinking about others, for you putting a smile on their face. And so always choose kind.
I appreciate that. I will continue to choose kind. Those are really wise words. I'm going to have to get the full quote from you after this. But I just want to say in closing, thank you again, Megan, and thanks to the whole Rare Diseases team and all of those that are under the organization that are currently suffering from a rare disease. I just want to send from my heart and from the DarkMatter Dojo's heart our love and support for whatever you guys are going to go through. And yeah, however we can help, we're here to help you guys. So just let us know. But before closing and saying our goodbyes, how can people get involved with rare diseases? Where must they go? What are the details? Can you give those to us?
So there are lots of ways. This is fantastic. Okay, we have our website, which is rarediseases.co.za. Then Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Anywhere you look, you can find us. You can send us a message, drop us an email. We will get back to you. You can register as a volunteer. We can register as a rare activist. Those are people who use their mobility for our patients who can't. So run, swim, jump, cycle, hop, whatever you can do to help create awareness and raise funds for us. We want to create awareness. That's the biggest thing. Yeah. Because we know there are patients out there that don't know about us and that feel all alone. And we want to put them in touch with support groups. We want to let them know that they have a bigger family that cares for them. Because we are a family. Having a rare disease is flippin' hard and it's awful and you feel so isolated. And suddenly you meet people who know what it's like to be tired, to be sick, to be hospitalized every month. And it fills you with warmth. And we want to be that family for all the rare patients.
Well, I want you guys to continue to spread the love. If there's any brands listening out there, there's an opportunity for you guys to jump onto something that is just breathtakingly beautiful and so necessary in the time that we're living. Megan, thank you so much for being here with us today on the Lockdown Lowdown and sharing your thoughts, opinions, and views and getting us all to know Rare Diseases South Africa a little bit more. We'll put all the details in the link below so everyone can click through and find out how they can get involved and become that rare activist. Thank you so much, Megan, and I'll speak to you soon.
Cool. Thanks so much, Angus. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.